Hi, I'm hoping to prove to you in less than 2 minutes why our educational system is in desperate need of change. That's not to say that we're not doing a lot of great things in our educational system and that there's not great intentions throughout, because there definitely is both of those things. But like I said, I'm going to point out 3 facts, and I'm hoping that it proves to you why change is definitely needed. My name is Irene Pierce Panayi. My children are done with the educational system, so they won't benefit from any of this. But I was pretty active as my children went through both public and private schools. So I was sort of down in the trenches. I saw a lot, learned a lot, and I'm sitting on a lot of ideas. And I decided to share them so we can get the conversation started at least. I'm hoping you'll share this tip with colleagues and other teachers and parents, because we all have to get on the same page. And by sharing it, it doesn't mean you agree with the one tip I'm going to share in this clip, because I have many of them, but it doesn't mean you agree with the one tip. It just means that you too want to get the conversation started about let's relook at education and get some changes in view. So what's the proof? The first is that it's full of stress. So we have a system where we're teaching students what they need to know to get into a set school, or a group of schools. Like, what do they have to do to stay on that path? That process has become extremely stressful for students, for teachers, for faculty, for families, everybody. Stress takes people down over time. You can't have a system that's packed with stress. It needs to be addressed. So that's number one. We need to figure out, how do we pull the stress out of the system? What needs to be changed? That's number one. The second fact that I think proves that change is needed is, if you look at the statistics on anxiety, depression, loneliness, attention deficit disorder, suicidal thoughts, just all of these issues across the board, they're all rising. And one could say, when you track the trends, they start out low, and when a child, is in the younger years, and over time, these statistics increase. One could say that the more a child is in our care, the more these numbers should be going down instead of up. If we're really doing it right. Now, I spoke to a lot of headmasters and principals, and I know a lot of people feel like you have it under control if you have a guidance counselor that focuses on that, or even a whole center that focuses on those types of issues. I would say that the ideal scenario is not to have a Band-Aid fix for an issue, but it's to keep the issue from arising in the first place. So I want to try to focus on ideas. I think it's healthy for all of us to focus on ideas on, how do we get this out entirely? What do we need to do? And so that's the conversation I want to get started. The third area that I think proves that change is needed is, look at the state of the world. We all came out of the educational system collectively. We have debates, people can't get along, talks of war. So we're definitely missing something. So I'm going to share just one tip in this clip, but I'm hopefully going to share more as time goes on. But the first tip I would say is this. Right now, our educational system teaches English, math, science, history, all of that, K through 12. If you look at the premise of that is, these are things that will get you a good career, whether you want to become a doctor or whoever, a lawyer or whatever. So it's all kind of facts-based. But what we're finding is that focus on career and getting into a good college and money doesn't bring us the happiness and peace that everybody thinks it does. I mean, autoimmune is up, anxiety is up, mental illness is up, people are struggling. So it doesn't bring the happiness that we think it does. There's a key area that we're missing, and I feel like if we take those subjects and really streamline them to focus on just the things we really need to know. I mean, there's so many facts in each of those areas that a student memorizes the facts for a test and walks out and forgets. We all forget. Like, we were to go back certain subjects, we don't remember either. So why spend time on those things? Streamline the information down, save them in case the child does show interest in that area. They're available and they can study these things later on. But start to free up time for other areas. So in like I said, the first tip would be incorporate relationships into the curriculum. And here's why: because even in your career, your ability to handle relationships can be more important than even what you know. A lot of times who you know is more important than what you know. It can help get you in the door. If you're abrasive at work, people will look to get you out. If you know how to handle people, if you really care for people and they really care for you, you may get, second and third chances, or people willing to work with you. So the fundamentals of relationship really help in that context, which is, career, which is what we're all focused on. But it also translates into friendships and then personal relationships and families. So that topic, which would include things like how to deal with difficult people, the art of compromise, those types of things, you really end up helping a life by starting to teach those types of skills. And I do think that, we're born with blank slates. We pretty much have to learn how to do everything from eat with a fork to brush our teeth. So learning how to handle relationships is something that we do need to learn. And I think learning it in the years that we're in school is so important. For example, instead of debate teams where it's you win or I win, present a debate on a topic, offer the two sides and say, okay, now these are two good arguments on this subject. Now we're going to have teams, creative solution teams, to see who can take the best of both and come up with maybe a creative solution that's maybe better than both of them, that really incorporates the best of both of them, and have creative solution teams instead, to start to get people to think in a different way, that it's not you versus me, but you have good ideas and I have good ideas. Let's kind of put them together. So these are the types of things. What would that look like to incorporate that topic in a curriculum? Where would you even begin? What topics to cover? How would they be introduced? I have a ton of ideas on those as well. I hope you'll follow along. I have a website, irenepiercepanayi.com. I have an Instagram, irenepiercepanayi.com, that I'm starting to launch. I haven't put a lot up on these sites yet, but I'm going to. I have a YouTube channel that I'm putting together as well. Again, it's just, let's get this conversation started and get the creative juices flowing. I hope you'll share this. Oh, and I wanted to mention also, I'm going to be kind of offering tips, trickling them, but if somebody doesn't want to wait for one idea or the next, I'm going to put together a Zoom session, a really inexpensive Zoom session, where you can sit down and just get a whole bunch of ideas, if that's easier. So anyway, these are some of the things that I'll be putting together, but I hope the idea works. I'll be sharing more. Thanks for listening. Again, my name is Irene Pierce Panayi. Thanks for listening.